Right, let's have a look at the predictions this week then. So people who just joined us for the predictions, because it's a standout bit, don't get upset, will you, if we don't pick your team to win? Because just because we don't pick them to win, don't mean we don't like them, or we dislike them, or we don't like any of the players, or we're rude. You know, sometimes we give an opinion. You know,
and it's Monday.
Sometimes we're wrong.
We haven't seen the 19-man squads. We don't know.
There are 12 teams. 6 of them will probably lose this week, so don't be crying if your team loses, because it isn't our fault. All right?
Oh, I get blamed every week.
You do. Wigan, Wakefield, Gary. Thursday night, Wakey, out of form. Wigan, tail between their legs after that defeat. Got a few forwards missing. Can they bounce back against Wakey?
Yes, without a doubt. As you mentioned there, out of form, Wakefield. The combination is not working, and something needs to happen there as well drastically. Whether one gets dropped from there, so one of them takes charge and takes control and gets the confidence of everybody around them. Yeah, Wigan, you know, we saw them the week before when they literally demolished Kingston Rovers. Last week playing against the best team in Super League by far, so not really disaster against St Helens. Wigan, far too much for Wakefield. I'm going Wigan by 16.
I think this is a free hit for Wakefield. I know that they're out of form at the moment, but I think they like the idea of being the underdog. I think it suits them a lot better than playing a game at home where they're expected to win. I think Wigan have got a number of injuries that, again, we haven't seen the final 90-man squad, but Joe Bullock could be out for the year and he's been really good for them. I still think Wigan will have too much. What we've seen of Wigan over the last few weeks is that they've now got the mojo to beat the teams that are below them. There's still an issue about the teams that are above them. But I think we're going to get back on the horse and probably win it by 6.
Yeah, I'm going for Wigan. Reverse psychology. When these,
go for Wigan.
I know, we played them again as well later in the season as one of the loopy fixtures. When they played a couple of months ago at the Mobile Rocket, Wakefield blew them apart, especially Big Dave for feet and marauding down the ring, but now he's got no feet and he's not allowed to play anymore. Wigan will bounce back from that defeat against St Helens. It is reverse psychology. I'm going Wigan by 22.
Which means, under the new rules, if only I'd done this last week for the Salford game and no one could have picked on me.
Salford by 46.
I've got to go for Wakefield then. We cannot have a unanimous selection, so I'm going Wakefield.
It makes my life easier if you just pick the same team. If everyone picks the same team, my job's easier.
No, well, I'm not. In that case, I'm definitely not doing it then. I'm going to go Wakefield by 2. Hull KR Huddersfield, Gary Schofield. This is the one and only Friday night game. It's live on the telly.
And the radio.
On the radio.
Yeah, we all know what's happened since Tony Smith comes in from there. And yeah, they've had a couple of defeats from there, but brilliant performance against Leeds. They'll carry that on. And I say with the form, everybody's got a smile back on their face. Huddersfield, very consistent. Great win against Salford, but yeah, got turned over by the Catalans. Can't go into Hull KR and get the win, just cannot see it. And I think the way Hull KR are going again, just for that expression, what they're playing, the big players are in good form, players are enjoying themselves. I think it's going to be easy for Hull KR. I'm going to look at the Rovers by 18.
I think the way Tony Smith was confidently talking about his team and the fact that he's harnessing the effort that has been there right from when he arrived and that he expects them to be going up the table. I think there's a genuine confidence about them that they did back up on Friday night, particularly on the back of what was a poor defeat at Wigan. But this is a really big test for Hull KR because you pointed out quite rightly that everybody's inconsistent at the moment. And if Hull KR are going to go up the table like Tony Smith says they will, then they've got to win this game.
Huddersfield have beaten them twice already at home, granted.
Yeah. So I think this is a real test, more of a test for Hull KR than the way they played last week. It's a test mentally as to whether they can back that up this week. Huddersfield finished the game against Catalans with a bit of a wet sail. Apparently they were awful for an hour, really poor, but they very nearly sneaked it at the last minute, and that'll give them some confidence. I can't work Huddersfield out because they were really good against Salford with a very young team, and you'd have thought they'd have taken that into the game with Catalans, and they didn't. So logic says Hull KR will win this. I've still got this niggling feeling that there's something. Huddersfield, they've got a performance in them. I just don't know whether it's going to be this week or not. I'm going to stick with the fact that we saw a great Hull KR performance. And I'll go Hulk out by 6, but I'm not 100% convinced with that.
Right, Rich.
I'm going for Kingston Rovers. I remember being at this game. You do whatever you want, I don't care. I've stopped keeping score and brought the spreadsheet. I'm going for Kingston Rovers. This was a big game, wasn't it, in the infamous Rovers relegation season?
Yes.
Just take a penalty.
Yeah.
In the £1 million game. I was there on Saturday afternoon. It was Saturday lunchtime game when Rovers lost to Huddersfield. One of Rick Stone's big games. You know Rick Stone? But I think Rovers will win this one. But everyone's inconsistent, so I don't even know why I'm saying this. I shouldn't really take Huddersfield, shouldn't I? But I'm going to okay to win at home by 8 points.
I'm being ganged upon here. Absolutely ganged upon.
Well,
you
you
don't
change
have
the
to.
order.
No.
Change the order.
No. Yeah, that's a good point. We will next week. Yeah. But this week, I'm going to go for Huddersfield. They've already beaten OKR twice this season. And you talk about OKR expectation. They got battered by a very good, granted, Wigan team. And there's a difference between playing Wigan at home and Huddersfield at home. Wigan away and Huddersfield at home. I think they'll have a crack with the Giants. I think they can cause an upset. I think pressure does funny things. It's all right going to Leeds away when you've got to win. The weight of expectation at home will be far greater. I'm going the Giants by 4. Right, moving on. Cass against Warrington, the legend.
Yeah, well, Darryl Powell says he won 7 from 7 for the last 7 games, so if the players buy into that and the confidence what they've got, decent win against Wakefield. I didn't expect it to win that easy, to be honest with you, from there. Warrington, surprised he got turned over against Salford. He'll want the reaction, will Steve Price from there, but Darryl Powell has said it to his players, he wants 7 from 7. And I think this will be the start of that 7 from 7. I'm not saying he will get 7 from 7, but I think this will be the start of a bit of a run for Cass. And I'm going Cass to turn Warrington over. Not by too many. So it's just going, as Darlene says, it's 7 for the Castleford Tigers.
Warrington have to perform this week because they're going into their biggest game of the season next week.
It's all right spending all the money, doing all the marketing.
You've got to do
win.
it. You've got to do it.
And their run, I don't know what the form is last 10, but they'll lost as many as they've won, I reckon.
They need, if they are to seriously go into the game against Hull in the semi-final in anything like form, they need to put a marker down this week. They need as many fit bodies as they can out there, and I think, unlike Saints, who could rest a few before there's some, I think he's got to pick the team he's going to go in the semi with. So, I don't know. I think if Warrington are going to achieve anything this year, this is the kind of game they've got to win, because they have to put last week behind them and they have to prepare themselves for next week. So I'm just going to shade it for Warrington by 6.
I went for the Wolves as well. Wolfie et al. When did Castle kick off at 3:30? Someone told the pits 12 years ago.
Pubs.
Yeah, the pubs are open all day now. Unless Castlewood's just got its own laws. I mean,
they've got their own laws.
No, I'm not going to Castle, so I can say what I
They've
want.
got your own laws.
So I'm going to go with Warrington. Although Castlewood were good, and they wouldn't surprise me if they won. I think this will be a close game, and I've gone for Warrington by 8 points.
I think the pressure's building on Warrington. Really is starting to build. Saints go from strength to strength. Warrington are crumbling. 1 or 2 injuries, 1 or 2 bumps and bruises. Goes. I think you mentioned a free hit for Wigan. I think this is a free hit for Cass. I think they'll fancy this. I think Darryl Powell will have them whipped up. Good win last week. I think Cass will win by 8. Right, on to Leeds against Hull.
Oh, here we go.
In the Gary Schofield derby.
Is the shield for this?
Put it on.
Yeah,
Every other club has
What,
shields.
no, it's a hubcap from Bella. Go on.
Bring it in with you.
Well, myself and so far as a Leeds fan delighted that Richie Marler can't play. And, as I mentioned, he should not play again for Leeds this season for obvious reasons. It's there for everybody to see. And it's an interesting with Hull. They want to make, they're playing against Leeds, love coming to heading late. They want to make sure that they get the performance, the confidence booster before they play the semi-final the week after against Warrington. But Leeds don't want the reaction. They need a reaction. It's as simple as that. And as I've said a couple of times now this season, I'm going to give him another chance. I'm not going to give him another chance this weekend. No, I can't. I can't give him another chance, unfortunately. I can't. And I think Hull, with the semi-final coming, they'll want to get ripped in. He'll want to make sure that Radford gets a near 80 performance as he can do. I can't take my team this week. I've got to take the black and whites. And Sneed, he will have an influence, i.e. with a kicking game. He'll have an influence with a drop goal. And I've got to go again, lads. I've got to go at our Len, and it's 7. It's 7 for the black and whites.
Every week before a cup tie, Hull have been awful this year.
They have, yeah, that's a very good point.
That they put in some of their worst performances of the season before they then put in a brilliant performance when it really matters the following week in a knockout game. And again, everything we say, which is nearly wrong every week anyway, is...
Oh, you speak for yourself.
Alright, I'm nearly wrong every week. I don't even know how you can pick this game without knowing what the squads are going to be, because I just don't know if Lee Bradford is going to rest any players for the week after, which is the much bigger prize at this stage. I'm going to probably suggest that he will, and in that case I think Leeds will win by 4.
As I'm going now, because I've been sent there, hey, can we get some things to break the band? Okay. It's me plugs or something. I hope they're not going to be in the Women's Cup final. Well, boycott if they're going. But despite the band, and despite obviously that Leeds in crisis is funny, they've got this really good record over Hull, haven't they? I seem to remember.
Yeah.
And I know these runs do come to an end sometimes, but I think Leeds. Why am I tipping? I don't even know. There's no explanation. Leeds by 2.
Will Hull have one eye on the semi-final? I don't know. I don't even think... You look at Hull in the first half last week, Hull in the second half, they don't even know what they're doing in the next 10 minutes, let alone what they're doing next week. Someone says, oh, well, we always beat Hull. We always beat Hull. Leeds got shown on Friday that they're still not a good team. Whatever you think of it, they're still not a good team.
Why they are where they
and
are.
that's where they are when they are, right? And we all know Hull, 3 out of 10, 9 out of 10. I've got a feeling they come to play. I've got a feeling they come. I get what you said about the cup. I do, and they did it. They chucked it in the week before and in both the last 2 games. I don't think they will. I think Lee Radford will be that angry with what happened last week, humiliated on the big stage. I genuinely think that Leeds could get spanked at the weekend. I do. I still think they'll stay up, so it's not an anti-Leeds thing. I'm going to go Hull by 24.
By 24.
Yeah. If Hull come out and play 9 out of 10, Leeds got
Say
battered by
46.
OKR. And
Say 46.
OKR bombed about 4 good chances the other day, and they battered you. Absolutely battered you.
Leeds fans,
I missed about 19.
Leeds fans, don't let Salford fans outdo you. Get ripped in, Leeds fans. Don't let the Salford fans outdo you.
Did you go for Hull?
Yeah, only by 7.
All right, okay.
Yeah, but he wins either way, doesn't he?
Salford, London Saints. Come on, we need to be quick. I don't get paid overtime.
Yeah, St Helens, they forgot what's happened down London. Was 4 or 5 weeks ago from there. And yeah, they got the cup the week after, but they know it's Halifax. No disrespect to Halifax from there. St Helens will want revenge. London, yeah, they're nowhere near showing the form before they played St Helens. This would be a nice warm-up for Saints. I'm going Saints by 24.
Yeah, I just think Saints are really hungry at the moment, and even if there are 3 or 4 young kids that are bought in, they'll be fighting for a place on the bench in the semi-final. I can't see them losing at London, and I think that the key is they lost there before, and they want to put that right. I'll see Saints losing, Saints by 18.
Saints will probably rest players because of the pitch or whatever, because everyone's got excited celebrations this year, and they will win on Sunday by 8 points.
Which means you have to go for
Oh,
London.
we'll go for London. Wakey lost there twice this year. St Helens still had a good enough team to win last time. Don't make any bones about that. They had a good enough team to win last time. Last 2 weeks, second half, Leeds, London have been good. First half, they've been diabolical. If they play like that this week, they'll be 50-0 down at half time. Make no bones about that. But I think they have got 1 or 2 bumps and bruises, Saints. Players that maybe are knocked up a bit, and I think he'll do what he did last time. I don't think he regretted. He said, I picked the team I thought could win, and the team on paper should have won. End of. It should have won. I think he'll lose some out. Doesn't matter if Saints lose. I think London will win by 6.
Is that your official prediction as well?
Yeah, you can stick that one down.
By the way, who's leading down the table? I've got to be Leeds too now.
No, it's broke. It broke because you actually got one right. Salford against Catalans. Are we doing this one, or are we just going to say Salford by 106?
Well, you can't before you say that.
You can't say so. You can't go first. Right, you go first. We'll let you go first on this one. See who you're going to pick. Because if we all go Catalans, you've got to go somewhere. Who are you going to pick?
Okay,
you
right.
go first.
I saw a stat that said Salford have won 6 away games in Super League, the most they've ever had in the Super League era, I think, which is brilliant. Well done, lads. Which also means they've lost 4 times. They've only won 4 times at home, which isn't good enough. They're up and down, in and out. they'd always do what you don't expect them to do. I think Catalans, since they dropped Matty Smith on your advice, they've won the last 2 games.
Don't be taking me under the bus like with Kieran
No,
Cunningham. You've got Kieran Cunningham.
I agree. I said to you, if they drop Smith, they'll start winning. They've dropped him, they've started winning.
Correct.
I think they're a team when they start winning, they keep winning. I think they'll win again this week. I think Salford will give them a game. I think it'll be tight. But speaking through bitter experience in my wallet, when I backed Salford to beat Wigan, cost me a fortune. A game they should have won, didn't win. Twice they lost at home to Wigan, who were at that point rubbish. Couldn't beat Wigan at home. Couldn't beat Huddersfield at home. Great win last week. The problem Salford have got on the league table, I'll tell you. They do have great wins, and then they follow up with an indifferent performance. Pressure's on this week, and I think Catalans are arriving at the wrong time. And I think Catalans will win by 4.
Well, I've got to agree with you, and I can't take Salford. I can't have Salford, to be honest with you. I can't even know that good win against Warrington. You just mentioned there, they're hitting the Catalan Dragons at the wrong time.
Yeah.
They will like to come and say that, you know, we've got the troubles on the road, but they will want to go to Salford from there. Plenty of confidence. And I think there's Catalans all the way, and I think it's Catalans by 10.
Bearing in mind as well, Salford beating 46-0 at home.
Correct.
That's going to be reminded to a few players.
Salford's best performance this season was in Perpignan.
Yeah,
They
by a
were
million
almost
miles.
faultless for 80 minutes and played a wonderful brand of rugby that, even though they've had some great wins at places like Warrington, they've not replicated the way they played that afternoon. They were an absolute joy to watch. Can they do it again this week? Yes, I think they can. If Jackson Hastings plays, I think they are a different team.
You're bound to social media pressure here. Right.
I think Salford will win by 10.
I was called a Salford hater by a
Called worse than that.
by a 4020 magazine columnist, and I said, "You send me a shirt, I'll get on the show. I don't care." I think Salford will win though. I don't know why. Maybe it's not like, maybe I don't like the French. Because you're allowed to like foreigners in this country nowadays. So yeah, boo the French. Going for Salford to win by 8 points. Shrug my shoulders.
To be honest, whatever we say, Salford will lose. The two of us, will think they win, and 2 of us will think they lose.
Exactly.
So.
I always know when Salford have won because my social media goes crazy. It's funny when they get stuff no one ever bothers.
Well, maybe all the Salford fans who didn't watch the programme last week can tweet us in and say, "Yeah, we're going to win."
Yeah. Well, I think they'll play well, but I think they'll get beat. And
my only worry would be that Catalans were poor in the last 25 minutes against Huddersfield, and if they adopt that same attitude, that's why I think Salford will win.
fair enough, you don't have to justify yourself. You've already done that.
I do to Salford fans.
Why?
Well, because whatever we say, they don't like it.
Salford by 102. Right, thanks to Gary. Thanks to bit harsh. Thanks to Richard.
West Wales.
Thanks for Richard for shouting at all our listeners.
Yeah.
Thanks to you for listening and not acknowledging. Get the new 4020 magazine. It's out now. There you go. 4020 magazine. Wayne Bennett on the picking Blair Costin. How dare he? How dare he? Thanks to Phil, who's put together the magazine. We will be back next week. Will Leeds still be in crisis? Will Wakey be in crisis? Well, London have provided a massive upset. We'll find out. See you next week.
Hi everyone over in the UK. Well, I'm here to tell you that come October this year, I'll be travelling to the UK to do a week-long talking tour. I'll be talking about everything in my life, my rugby league career, how I started, and of course how I finished this year. I'll be travelling to Leeds, St Helens, Hull and Doncaster to do live events. Go to rmsportsevents.co.uk to get all the information. I'll also be playing a couple of games of rugby league against an old foe of mine, Adrian Morley. The events also support Life for a Kid. Can't wait for it. It's going to be great fun. I love the UK. See you in October.